How have you felt that she's got on?
Yeah, I think, like you say, I think she's been enjoying it. She does seem more confident with stuff, doesn't she?
Yeah, I think it has clicked with her. Like the methods that you use have clicked. Like it's not like she's learnt them and forgotten them. They've clicked and she's remembering and she's carrying on using them. I can see that she understands it. Whereas sometimes at school, she has said in the past, "Oh, I just don't get it." Like, and they've tried different ways and it hasn't clicked. But the way that you've taught her has definitely clicked. You can tell the way she talks about it, and she'll say to me, "Oh, that's a CV, whatever," and she's quite happy to explain it to me. Like, so I feel like she is confident in it enough to explain it to an adult. It's definitely gone in.
Absolutely. And do you know what? That's one of the things I say to parents. If they can explain it to you, they've understood it. If you can teach it to somebody else, and that's why I say go and like we sometimes in drop-in just go for, right, I want you to teach me how to do X, because then I know they can, if they can teach it to me, they've got it. You know, like obviously we'll go through things how to do it, but I think it's really important that you go, right, okay, now you've learned that, go and teach that to somebody else. So
yeah,
you know,
helps it sink in, doesn't it?
Definitely. So, like, what do you feel has been her biggest result so far with the reading?
I think just her confidence in the reading, I think it's made a big difference. She's not embarrassed about it anymore. She's still not like at a level as some of her classmates are in reading, but considering the level she was at before, where she'd avoid it at all costs, she was like trying to hide her reading and stuff and didn't want to read out loud. I'd say she's more confident now.
Yeah, if there's words that she doesn't know, like she uses the skill set to try and work it out, but that doesn't completely put her off. Whereas before, if she was reading a book or reading to us,
she'd ignore the word.
she would try and ignore it.
Or change it to a word.
And as soon as she couldn't do it, that was it. She didn't want to do it, and that was pretty much the end of any reading session. So that doesn't happen anymore, I don't think. So that's pretty good.
What have you noticed particularly? Is it a fluency or is it like the...
I'd say just she's happy to challenge harder words now. I think that is a massive thing, just not ignoring the words. She used to just ignore them or change them. And she would never come to a word and say to us, "What does this mean?" And she will now, or "What's this word?" If she can't figure out on her own, she'll ask us, whereas before she was too embarrassed, so she'd just ignore it. She doesn't do that anymore. I think her fluency has picked up a little bit, but I think she's trying to not go too fast when she's reading because she feels like she makes more mistakes. So fluency is slower, but there's no mistakes. So I'd say at the minute it's worth it for her to go a little bit slower, have a little bit less fluency, but she's not making the errors. And then I think over time, the speed of the fluency will pick back up.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you found she was making more errors before she started?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, I would say so. Well, like we say, she would just ignore the words, skip over it completely, and almost try and hurry the last half of the sentence. To move away from the word that she couldn't read.
I think often my school didn't notice because they thought her fluency was extremely good. And I think it's because if you're not looking at the page she's reading, she can change the words so quick. If you're not watching line by line, you wouldn't know she'd done that. So I think when they're listening to read, unless they're watching the page, they mark her fluency a lot higher than what I...
And how do you feel like the learning approach has helped Emily specifically?
Do you mean like the way you explain how to split the words and things like that?
Yeah, like how we teach her, Emily. How do you feel that approach has helped her?
I think she loves it.
She definitely enjoys each session. And like we say, she's definitely picked it all up.
I think it's because she's finally found something that she can understand.
Yeah.
I think at school they would try different ways, but none of it made sense to her. So I think she really struggled. Whereas with this, like there was a lot to take in at the start, but once it clicked, she was like, "Oh, she gets it." I think the methods just really work for her. Like they really click in her brain. And they're not methods that I would have ever thought to have done. They're not methods that school are doing. If we hadn't done this course, she never would have learned to learn that way.
And I know she's got those skills and she can apply it to pretty much anything.
Yeah.
That's just the confidence right there. And
yeah, because she could come across a brand new word and she'll try it now. There's no way she would have done that before.
And I think because of each session she finds fun, that's obviously a massive key into why she's...
And her confidence is raised because she'll come off a lesson and go, oh, that was really easy today. And I'm like, that you're finding it easier because you're learning all the time.
Yeah.
And now you could, towards the end of the sessions, you've learned enough now that every lesson feels easy.
Yeah, no, I've definitely noticed that because I can see in her brain she's really clicked. It has really clicked because she'll say, "Oh, hang on a minute, it's because X, Y, and Z." I'm like, yes. So you can definitely see when I ask her what and why is that, because I don't just say split it up. I say why and why are we doing that like that, because she's like, oh, because of X, Y, and Z. So she'll actually tell me why, which is great.
Yes.
She's definitely. I've noticed her confidence blossom. I've noticed that she feels. She's really taken the tools and applied to what she's learning for sure, and I definitely feel it's made a massive difference to her.
And I'd say she's not embarrassed by mistakes anymore either, and that's a big thing.
And that's something we really, as I said, I really feel that's important, to make a safe place to make mistakes because.
Sorry, I was just going to say, we don't seem to have like the big. They're not tantrums, but where she sulks
like
and
a
goes,
meltdown.
it's like because she's stupid, she understands now that it's nothing to do with her being clever or not clever or whatever.
Yeah,
it's how
her brain works.
And it's having the skills to deal with it in a different way that someone else might, and that understanding has made a big difference as well. I think
she definitely does feel like she's in a safe environment for sure. Because the way, if she makes an error, she's not fazed by it at all. Whereas before she would be in tears, absolute tears.
No, I'm really pleased to hear that, because I'm very conscious of our language in terms of like, I never say that's wrong. I just say, let's have another look at that again. Let's revisit, let's do that together, so that they feel secure in, okay, we'll do this again. What's been your experience like working with us?
I've enjoyed it. I think it's been great. We've had no issues. Anytime we've had to, maybe slightly move a class or she had to slightly change, you've been very flexible, really helpful, answered any questions, any problems we were having, solved everything. I'd recommend it to anyone whose kid who was struggling with reading or dyslexia, anything like that. I would highly recommend you. I think it's an extremely good course and it does exactly what it says it's going to do. And the difference in Emily is just incredible.
Oh, I'm really happy to hear that, to be honest with you. I've just seen such a transition from where she started. Like, she started a bit like a deer in headlights, when you're asking to read. And then just to see her just go, yes, I know what I'm doing, this, and this. It's so nice to see her just like blossom, and that's what we are meant to do. But it always makes me smile